guys, and welcome to a video with my thoughts on the newest One Piece episode. And this one was intense as fuck. I really enjoyed this episode. And a lot more happened than I expected. I think they actually animated like 1 or 1.5 chapters in this one, which is really good. Either that or they just started in the middle of one and then just... yeah. But either way, I really enjoyed this episode, and I thought... yeah, I thought it was entertaining in like a very intense and sinister kind of way, because obviously nothing was good in this episode. Like, nothing was positive for the Straw Hats. It just wasn't a good thing for them. But we get Sanji's last name, which is really nice, because we haven't had that for a long time, and this is a huge moment, and we're now starting to learn more about Sanji, and that's just really nice. That's just really nice. And I really liked the way they did it. Like, it was very... because it had an intense focus on Sanji, of course, throughout this entire episode. He was basically the leader of their little gang, and he made all the calls, and it was just really nice the way that it was set up, with having all the Straw Hats and Caesar in the background being chained up, and then you have Sanji sitting at the table making all the decisions, speaking for all of them. And I just, oh my god, I cheered when Sanji was like, Luffy's the man who's gonna be the Pirate King. Oh, I cheered so hard at that. I was like, I love when the Straw Hats declare that Luffy's gonna be the Pirate King. That's like, right, so good. But I really liked how this episode was set up, and with the colors and just the intensity of it. And just, like, let me just point one thing out. Capone's, the inside of his castle thing, the pictures or self-portraits of him are just so funny, because it's just like, everywhere you look, you'll see Capone. I just find that so hilarious. And it's this really dark atmosphere. You just see Capone being like... But either way, we get more Sanji. We find out that his name is Vinsmokes Sanji. He's the 3rd son of the family, and he originally came from the north. This is something that we knew, but we never got to explore, because he just said, well, it doesn't really matter because I was raised in the east. And we find out that going from the north to the east isn't really as easy as it sounds, because you have to go over the red line. And for those of you who don't remember, Sanji said that he'd never been to Fishman Island, which means that how did he get past the red line? Like, he must have traveled over it somehow, because the only way to not travel over the the red line to get to the other half of the world is through Fishman Island, and Sanji's never been there, so I don't think that sentence made any sense. But you know what I mean, right? The trip had to be really difficult, and Brooke even is like, the Vinsmokes, what in the world? What how? It sent a shiver down my spine. And I think it's Brooke especially who's like, guys, this is a lot more serious than you think it is. Like, the Vinsmokes, that's just really not... yeah. And Capone even has that line, or is it Vito? One of them says that being from the Vinsmokes, like, you're truly ill-bred, and that's just... it sets up so much, because you're just like, what the fuck, what is this family, what... and why is Sanji getting married to this random girl? Like, what? It's just all over the place. And I mean, this episode's just really good. It sets up, I mean, obviously it's gonna set up the next arc, obviously, because Sanji's not there and they need to go get him and rescue him from this marriage. Because obviously none of them are for this, because as either, again, Capone or Vito or now I actually think it's Caesar who says this, that because Sanji's gonna marry into Big Mom's family, if Sanji goes through with this, the Straw Hats will then be underlings of Big Mom, because one of their crewmates has married into the family. And that's obviously not good. I mean, that's exactly why Sanji's like, no, Luffy's gonna be the king of the pirates, he's not gonna work for anyone, that's just not how he does this. And since I'm right now in charge of this group, I can't really go along with this, because that's not my captain's wishes. Which is just really nice, really nice. But of course they have something over him. Vito whispers something in his ear, and Sanji's like, okay, what the fuck? And he gets this really grave look on his face, and not only that, but they take Nami, and of course they have the other touches, but they do stuff to Nami, and Sanji gets really worried, and he can't really do anything, and they're just in a really bad situation. And that's just like, okay. Sanchez figured out that he needs to do something. Which is just like, not good, because we know he took off on his own. We know this because in the present, Sanchez not there, Caesar's not there. Also, on the topic of Vito though, I find animated Vito a lot more creepy than manga Vito, because the fact that he can move and speak is just really creepy, and in the manga it somehow never occurred to me that his hands were that big, and it's just, his proportions are just so weird and creepy. And then, I mean, the tongue in itself is just really disgusting. That's like what put me off of him in the manga. Like, I like his character, I think he's fun, but but then his hands are just, and his voice actor reminds me a lot of Caesar's, and so does his laugh, but it's like, because Caesar is more fun, like there's something inherently funny about the way he speaks and the way he laughs. With Vito, it just crosses the line between funny and downright creepy. I just, Vito. I would hate being in Sanji's situation when Vito just whispered into his ear. Disgusting. It occurred to me I haven't really talked about Capone, because Capone is really badass in this episode. Like, he has everything under control. He starts off by shooting Peckhams, and he's like, well, I don't really want to cause a scene here, but I know they're gonna fight me, so I'm just gonna call out all my men from inside my body. I'm gonna outnumber you. I'm gonna capture the 2 dudes you have over there, Nami and Chopper. I'm gonna pretend I have a C-stone bullet and shoot Caesar, who's up in the tree. Oh wait, I didn't really have it, I just used it to get you down, but I do have a spear, so now you can't really do anything. Let's go inside my castle and I'll just manipulate you to do exactly what I want you to do. Badass as fuck. I really like Capone in this. I mean, it's awful what he does, because this is not good for the Straw Hats, but he's really cool. I like people who are that much in control of what's going on. I think that's awesome as hell. Alright, I think I'm just gonna say one last thing before I end this, because I don't actually want to make this too long, and I'm feeling good about this length. Sanji drops his cigarette, and a few moments later he basically, like, it doesn't explode, but it fires up, and that there are just so many more flames that there should be, because a cigarette shouldn't be able to set that much on fire. And I feel like this is something that manga readers have forgotten to talk about, and I just still find it so weird that this happened. Like, can we talk about what the fuck that's supposed to signify? Because Sanji's, many of Sanji's attacks are fire related, right? But they're always related to, like, inflamming his actual body and his legs. He can't really control flames from outside his body. Yet there was so much focus on the cigarette, because he could just have, like, dropped the cigarette, and then it could have been, like, burned a little hole in, like, the table covers or whatever they're called, or, like, just, like, made a little smudge on the floor, just to, like, signify that he dropped a lit cigarette. But the thing cigarettes don't do that, right? Cigarettes don't do that. Can we just, like, talk about that? Does anyone have any ideas? Because I just think that's a lot of fun to talk about. It could just be, like, I don't know, hockey or something. I don't know how it could be hockey. I don't know. That's why I'm bringing this up, because I feel like margaritas have stopped talking about this and I want to bring it back up. So yeah. I'm just gonna end this little thing here, because this episode really speaks for itself, and it was really, really enjoyable, and I really liked how they executed it, and it was really great. Yeah, so if you like anything you have to say, you can leave a thumbs up in the video, leave in the comments below what you thought of this episode, and you can subscribe if you want to see more of me. I usually do reviews of One Piece, Haikyuu, Shokugeki no Soma, Boku no Hero Academia, and I do videos more in style of this of Haikyuu the anime. Also, if you follow my Boku no Hero Academia reviews, we just ended off an arc, which means that after this video I am gonna record my arc review for this current last arc, so you can look forward to that, and until next time guys, bye!